but today's just not one of the days, you know. In the top right-hand side of our best 7 finals here of the Red Cross Cup, this is herO. While in the bottom left, Shopify Rebellion Blue Terran, ByuN. Best of 7. These two both playing well to get here. ByuN went what? 3-0 against herO, 3-0 against Cure to make it this far. It's pretty nifty for him as we get set to roll. It was a herO 3-2 against Max Specs, 3-0 at his first round against Clem as well. So this PVT definitely been on point as of late. We'll see if he can keep that up here against ByuN, who is always a tricky and difficult opponent, so never easy. Like I say, let's see what we can make happen as we have our probe coming up, STV coming into fight. Just gonna be seeing our probe getting pushed away for a few moments. So far, so good. Obviously, Cybercore on the back, get in the back as well, so not walling off or anything, keeping those structures in a very safe place, not worrying about them at all. Just gonna be seeing our probe beginning to nibble up a little bit. Reaper is coming up, and it's going to be a factory before we expand here as ByuN. He's been loving this a lot lately. A lot of Terran players have been, obviously, this pre-set expand, you know, pre-kind of aggression to the expand. Just gives you a little bit more kind of stuff to work with. People, like I say, typically kind of like that, so yeah, seen that a lot as of late. Obviously allows you to really hit some of your timings just that little bit sooner and everything as well, so it's always very cute. As Reaper is out the front, just going to be seeing Stargators coming up here as well, bringing that online as we have the warp gate just coming on through. So that warp gate here in the next couple of moments, and just going to be seeing our starports so coming into play. Now let's see what comes out of the Stargate. We're just going to go Insta Phoenix. We are indeed. Now, how much are we going to hide these Phoenix? Are we going to hide these Phoenix, or are we going to reveal these Phoenix very quickly? It's definitely a reasonable question mark. Two Hellions and the Reaper, Hellion and the two Reapers come in, and they get 4 probes. And my goodness, ByuN is off to a great start. 5 workers killed is obviously a massive amount of damage to start out with here. So a lot done right away. So let's see another Phoenix going through. The Reaper does go down, but obviously getting a scout as well, getting to see what's coming out of this Stargate is very good information for you, so should be very happy to be able to spot that. And there's the Cyclone, the Viking, all coming online for the moment. Extra Marine still just coming through, and just going to see a Widowmine able to connect on one of them. That's always nice as well, right? Be able to knock that down. And just bring it to a little bit lower HP is actually kind of nice, so a little bit of a bonus connection. Cyclone Marine still in production. We've got, you know, a good amount of Marines, good amount of anti-air in general right now, so that's looking pretty good for you. Vikings still hanging out, just going to be pulling everything back, and just going to be seeing a couple more SCVs continuing in as well. And Marine's going to get back around and down to business. Hey, what's up? Nice username. How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 10 months. It's the Wardy. It is a me. Support, much appreciated. As we do have Raven, Viking, Cyclone, All coming up here for the moment. All starting out. Just gonna have ourselves the Observer coming around the sides. In a position right now where, obviously we've got a good amount of Phoenix, so we've got a Raven that's gonna have to try and stay fairly safe here as well. So that's gonna be an interesting moment or two to see whether that will survive or not. Stim combat, all the good stuff coming in right now on the side of ByuN. So he's going to get his upgrades, and that's obviously next point where we're going to see whether he can make something happen or not. Phoenix need to be careful, man. They're getting a little bit too close and personal over here, just getting a little bit too involved, I would say. Just got to be careful with that, right? As Phoenix make their way back along. Just going to be seeing the couple of shots coming up. Just going to be seeing our Nexus coming through, and this single SCV going down. ByuN is pushing. His upgrades are finishing very shortly, so time for him to get really up and involved here. As Bio comes through, and just going to be seen again now. Phoenix all gathering up. Cyclone gets a few lock-ons though, and this first push in from ByuN don't think should be too crazy, although nice to grab a Phoenix so early. Anti-armor missile hits. That will help. Some of these Zealots on the ground will melt very quickly. It's just, can you sustain yourself against the two Colossi fire upon you? That's obviously going to be a little bit tough as you do lift up a Widow Mine. Just going to be seeing the Colossi still chasing. As the little army of ByuN decides now. Time for us to get out of here. Not enough to be had just sitting, waiting around. This isn't going very well, so just gets out, evacuates it up for the moment or so. As we get a CC building, so third coming in. ByuN's still probably pretty happy with his overall macro position, and so right now I don't think that's a major threat or anything for him. See how few Phoenix continue to settle on down. First Academy coming up from ByuN. The Command Center still coming in, so that third will be online as well. Goes really nice against the Phoenix because you can take away their shields so they're not as tanky if Colossi and stuff, but also just take the energy away so they can't lift up all your units as you try and retreat and everything. Just taking the Phoenix's ability to really be kind of a really good sustaining force from the fight goes a long way for you a lot of the time, so definitely something that is worth a look into. Phoenix moving around. A little bit of hopping around here and there as we come on by. Our Bioforce collecting up together with these few Vikings as well, trying to see if they can make something of a difference here. Well, let's just see our Forge coming up, continue to come through with this all. It's going to be seeing our Bioforce sitting steady. It's going to become a bit of a, bit more of a chilled out few minutes here for sure. Things do settle down just a little bit. Our Bioforce coming over, Vikings, Medivacs, both in play right now. Cyclone coming up as well. We've got a, Phoenix range even coming on the Fleet Beacon. As ByuN, a good work account for him as well, right? No fourth base from herO is definitely a bit of a problem, something he doesn't want to, be in. Everything was stacked there. That was a gorgeous EMP opportunity as we do hit one EMP that kind of lands a little bit on the batteries as well. We land one more now, hitting some of the Phoenix. Like I said, they're definitely going to be a bit of a target here throughout. Through the couple batteries going down, and this is going to be just a push through the center, so no fourth base. Really important to note, right? I mean, without a fourth base, you genuinely do end up in a bit of trouble here, I feel like. Probe comes moving along, just going to see the rest of this Bioforce out in the center. Trying to see what it can get up to, see if there's anything sneaky we can perhaps find across all of this. Just going to see how Bio going to go straight onto a set of rocks then and start to progress through that. I mean, just opening up the map, making it more difficult for herO to sit defensively and just really hold out any of these positions. herO's going to try and go into some carriers, it would seem. And straight through, just going to be seeing the Bioforce able to kind of rip the shreds a little bit off this for the moment. Just continue to do damage. 19 workers dead. As herO comes in to respond to it, everything is here, which means that nothing is on the other side. So they're going to sim straight into that fourth base. That's going to be denied again. So not only have you succeeded in doing damage in the front, you've also succeeded elsewhere as well, and that is just painful. Really painful, honestly, actually, right? I mean, that's really adding up, and that's really becoming quite expensive at this point in time. The Vikings and our Bioforce is going to come moving back across over here, but this really is just too much ByuN, I think, and herO is going to be in trouble. We see that first carrier not really getting to add to much right now, just kind of getting shot down, and the Vikings just kiting away against the Phoenix as well, so their numbers are going, their support is waning at this point of the game. It's going to bring our Bio back around into center of the map then. Vikings still hanging out. A couple of medevacs will all load up. So everything kind of just jumping in over here, and that's going to be seeing the Bioforce coming across to that forward base. ByuN just maxed again, controlling this game well. Nice map for being able to move around on. Obviously deadly to jump into the main as well. This thing is definitely, I think, a map that the Terran players are going to enjoy a lot in these events. I think that's almost a given. As you see, our disruptors just get shot down almost immediately, so they go down without any issue at all, and just going to be seeing, well, there's a good start, although I guess the follow-up here is obviously maybe not quite going as well. That's going to be having the Bio continue to swipe away into the base, trying to get a little bit more done. And yeah, honestly looking as though we're going to have ourselves this Bioforce just completely wiping out everything over here. GG's, ByuN is going to come through, taking this one down. And going to be able to get ourselves a 1-0 lead. ByuN winning out pretty comfortably across the board, I would say. Start off in the top left-hand corner of the map. This is going to be our red Protoss player who is down a game in this best-of-7 final. It is herO. Well, as again too, got an interesting kind of time ahead of us because, again, ByuN took control of that last game pretty nicely. The Phoenix didn't really do enough from here. They got bullied, honestly, in the early stages of the game, and just didn't really go well for him. So a lot for herO to kind of look at and to try and fix going into this next map. If I was him, I'd be honestly a little bit worried right now, because I feel like he's not really in the greatest of places and could absolutely find himself in some trouble if he, if he doesn't fix kind of what happened last time. I wonder if we'll see Phoenix again. We might just see a straight up blink play. That's obviously one way to just go very, complete 180 in terms of our approach on this. Next is coming through, Cybercore, Zealot. All of this being built up right now. It's just a lot of getting set. For these early stages, nothing surprising. That's going to be seen our command center coming up. Our orbital is building. First Marine is on the way, so no Reaper. And we'll see if we're going to stick to no Reaper here, if there is maybe something more planned over the next handful of moments. This comes into the natural then. We're going to be having our CC obviously much faster this game from ByuN as you do have. Let's look around the map a little bit. So you've got these gold mineral patches which obviously open up to the third base to the right side. hero's already making access over in that direction. You got this forward Rich Vespine base as well, which could become very interesting, holding out in the center as well. So that could be kind of cool. So a couple of things that could be very interesting here in these early stages as we get ourselves set up early on. Single Hellion goes to scout around, always nice to try and find something early. Well, it's 3 extra gates from herO. He's going to really go for the aggressive opportunity on this one. So it does have that blinking spot to the side of the base. I think that's definitely going to be something of a factor here. Something we'll have to keep our eyes on. Definitely one thing for us to watch out for is, again, Blink just trying to boost away. A couple more Stalkers building up. Tech Labs coming in on the side of ByuN. And again, a bunker at the front already getting established. Just getting that all up and ready. Blink is still coming on through. That's going to be something we can work with here in the next little while. A few Marines set out the front as well, keeping an eye on things. Marines, tank, Raven. Everything at the moment just producing along as our Stalkers get here. Quick little pick off from them. A couple more Stalkers coming up. Blink still coming by. That Raven at the moment is about halfway along here as well. It's just something to watch, obviously. That's going to be a main target. If these Stalkers can get rid of it before it can be useful, then that's a perfect shutdown on something that ByuN invests into heavily at the start of the game. So that is one thing we can, like I say, watch out for pretty much immediately. Something to keep our eyes on for sure. I mean, ByuN's defense, double bunker at the front. Obviously, the defense in the main has to be good as well, but the one thing about this map is you do have to do a little bit of like a walk around to get to the jump-in spot into the main, so in fairness as well, you then have to walk forward from there to really try and do anything, so maybe that's going to be okay as we do get rid of the first tank. That's the starting point here as the Widow Mines across the map, though, get 10 probes. So ByuN is going to put a bit of a timer on herO. herO must do damage soon, otherwise he's going to just fall behind massively in these early stages. You blink in, we get rid of an SCV, we continue to put some damage through, and a Zealot will warp in as well, and well, our first Zealot is going to go down. The auto turret drops as well. The Stalkers just blink straight into this. Auto turret coming through to do what it can. The Raven still overhead is likely going to be in trouble as well. Raven does go down now, so Raven will fall. A few Marines continue to try and push back and fight against this. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers do have to blink away, but 15 workers killed is definitely damage in the right direction to keep herO alive in this game, where otherwise he was in perhaps a little bit of trouble, right? So Tank gets one more shot off. The Marines are going to go after the Prism, which is just going to, I think, have an initial look forward here to see what's going on. Tank goes down, SCV's pulling again, 17 workers being killed. And even more than that as the numbers continue to rise. The Stalkers do good work out here on Neo Humanity in Game 2. herO looking to bounce back and pull it back at the moment. An extra few Stalkers into the main. The Zealot helping to lead the charge. As I come forward with this, just going to be seeing a lot of the Biostorm to go down. 25 SCVs dead, 12 probes dead as well. Our Stalkers would love to get rid of the Siege Tank, continuing for that, and they do get rid of it. A lot more SCVs going down. Our Stalkers blink away. Oh, all these Stalkers just getting knocked out here. He's going to be seeing these Zealots continuing to try and make something of a play of this, but 40 SCVs down. ByuN did a little bit more damage, right? He brought this back a little bit at the very least, but still hardly ideal. 42 dead workers. I mean, he's down by 10 right now. Can he maybe keep this up? I mean, again, it's not like herO's got the most mining we've ever seen. It's almost plausible to say that herO could, you know, that ByuN could stand up and he's got these Widow Mines against it. At the very least, he's denying mining. Right? He might not be denying much, but he is denying some amount of mining. Another Widow Mine goes down, another probe falls. These few Stalkers move deeper into this main base. The Bio Army will activate its stim and just come chasing forward immediately. And the Stalkers just blink out of there, trying to stay out of trouble. Tank will siege up and again just be there to keep the Stalkers pushed back. Stop them from getting too involved with anything right now. Stalkers getting a little grab. Medevac finally going down, so that gets cleaned up. Well, with the worker deficit, I feel like ByuN's actually okay. He's obviously got mules on his side, and he is using those well at the moment to re-establish control, or some amount of economy at least. Maybe not control, but his eco is at least coming back into the right kind of ways as Bioforce comes through. The Prism continues to get pushed around a little. The Stalker's getting rid of an SCV. I'm just going to continue to sit here and fight against these couple of Marines. So, I mean, a bit of harassment continuing in. I mean, the main part of this attack is done. Here's still only on 2 bases, 39 workers. As he kills a few SCVs, he puts himself into a little bit of a better position all around. Then gets sieged up. I'm just going to be seeing the Stalker still on the map from here. We're still keeping an eye on things here. 9 minutes in. Neo Humanity. Feels like doesn't feel like a big map, but I actually feel like it's... To me, it's deceptive. I feel like it doesn't look huge, but actually, when you kind of get into it and play it, it is actually a little bit larger than you expect it to be. It's going down. Stalkers get here. Tank will get blasted. Bio still coming through, and the Stalker's still going to be forced back just a little bit as we continue this back and forth. Stalker's hop into the base. He's going to be seeing these Marines still coming through. The Marauders as well, looking for the play. Going to the front, keeping everything back. Just stopping the Stalkers from doing even more damage. We're about to get combat shields. We're heading into charges herO. He's finally onto a 3rd base as well. So this game's about to take a very different turn to what we've seen so far. We're about to have a very different setup of things in comparison to what we had previously. As you're going to see the medevacs coming back through the Bio Army. Could perhaps quickly jump into those and maybe get across with some damage. We scan to get rid of the Observer. The army's nearby. New Observer actually wanders forward. And he's gonna kind of bait this on me. Hey, come chase me, bro. Look, I'm right here. Easy pickings if you want me. If you want me, going once. Going twice, and, well, not sold. I guess I'll just use my information against you then. Zealot Stalkers charge in. ByuN's pretty comfortable in this defense. We still have units poised to the right as well. Maybe waiting for ByuN to chase too far forward. I feel like that's not a bad assumption to make, that ByuN might be a bit overly aggressive and step too far forward. That's something that ByuN would do a lot of the time, honestly. So if those units were truly just waiting, I mean, now they're jumping into the main base. At least they tried to. Deflect it immediately by the units that were in the main. So not too successful, obviously. Doesn't really work well at all. Scans out that observer. It makes it a bit more difficult to deal with these mines. Obviously, you can still just blink away from them and not lose anything, but actually did lose a Stalker, right? I was just looking at the minimap quickly, and then I saw stuff. I think it might have just been the Deadwood mine. Anyways, either way, ByuN is trying to move forward to the third base. So he's moving forward into this. He's getting set up. He's trying to get himself ready. As you do have RoboBay, Immortal, and +1 attack. All continuing through for the moment here. CC will land. Stalker's knocked down a mine to start us out as well. It's not a bad call. More easy pickings really is, again, ByuN being on the defense this entire time. Obviously, both of them took big eco hits at different parts of this game. Not surprising to see both of them kind of having had a weird one. And kind of being in a position where obviously everything's very delayed, right? I mean, you're taking these third bases super delayed. You know, our tech is still just Zealot to, you know, Stalker on the side of the Protoss player. That's not really advanced in the slightest. Now the Prism might go down as well, which is a shame to miss out on a little bit of that. Coming back across, Marauders will take a little jump forward, try to deny these Stalkers, push them away. So ByuN gets here, gonna get the Prism, nice catch, good denial. 2, 3, 4 SCVs going down, so we get rid of the Prism. We do have some Zealots at least dealing some amount of eco damage. Let's get pushed back. Just going to be seeing the ByuN still charging through, chasing the Zealots away. The Stalker's getting pushed out of here as well. A couple of Vikings on the way up from ByuN as well to help him get to the maxed out army. What I'm worried about from here is what if ByuN starts dropping, because you know ByuN is so good at that drop play. You know that that's where ByuN can sometimes be at his absolute most scary kind of potential. That could be a possibility here. Right now, ByuN's just moving to the right, but, I mean, if he starts splitting away a couple drops to the left side, it's going to be a struggle for herO to defend, but I feel like ByuN can't do too well attacking into this. He's going to be attacking through the choke into this position, so I don't really feel like this should be good for him. Let's see, as Zealots are charging forward, the Bioforce will be trying to kite back away from all this. Colossi put in some work. It's only 2 Colossi. I mean, if this was 3, 4, maybe we would have never taken this battle, but in the end, the supplies dropped pretty evenly across the board. This might actually just be more or less okay. Going forward again, but not really succeeding. Trying to hit the top right, but not really doing too great there. Hi, Hasburrito. Thank you so much for the 16-month resub, by the way. Really appreciate it. Welcome back. If you guys enjoying the stream today, don't forget to hit the follow button. Got a Prime sub going to spare. It's always appreciated as well. Thanks for the support as we get into the later stages of this battle. Also coming along, ByuN still for now just sort of holding out reasonably, I suppose. Get rid of one more Stalker and just going to be having ourselves the Stalkers, Colossi, Zealots, and Sentries ready to try and get a bit of a bounce onto this force. Oh, good dive forward. We're going to get rid of 1, 2 Colossi pretty much immediately. That's a massive start of this. Disruptors. I'm going to catch a Marauder. Nothing too crazy overall, man, if we lose another Colossus here, obviously this becomes quite the expense, as we are going to just chase. The Colossus just survives. I don't know if we even want to rebuild Colossus right now, because you need multiple Colossi for them to really be good. Lose the Disruptor over on the left. A few more Zealots being warped in. Stalkers blink in. Our Bioforce is there to stand. Stalkers take damage. Just going to be seeing Medivacs continue to come through here from ByuN. So as those Medivacs pop out, we're going to see even more healing support. He's kind of low HP. I was just thinking this. I was like, man, he is kind of stimming a lot, right? He's trading and fighting all of the time. So it's definitely coming at a little bit of an expense. Continuing through, just going to see a couple of these L's chased away. There goes the Colossus as well, by the way. So that gets knocked down as well. We dive in. We grab ourselves a little Disruptor. Nice little pick off as well. Got one more EMP as we continue to pull back. The sentry's then out of energy, won't be able to force field or anything. As herO is on full chase mode. I mean, ByuN gets back home. He's going to start taking a fourth base as well, by the way, to the right. They're going to dance around the, both sides of this rich Vespene base. All the space obviously kind of allows for that kind of, move this way, move that way. Which way you're going to try and attack instantly. Defender has to stay on top of the movements of the attacker. Otherwise, they could be caught out of position. Disruptor shot. Oh! Well, ByuN lifts up away from the Disruptor shot, so he doesn't lose anything to that Disruptor immediately. There's still a lot of Zealots going on, though, and herO's going to charge in with them. Disruptor lands on what was a landed Viking, I believe. Now chasing ByuN. Once these Disruptors, he's going to get 1, 2. The Zealots come in to fight. ByuN's going to pull the SCVs to try and stabilize the scenario. Well, it's going to lose him a lot of work. It's going to put herO very ahead on economy. 67 to 40 workers in herO's favor. And he's going to start rebuilding Colossi. He's gotten rid of all these landed Vikings and remnants of the earlier part of the game. So now he's going to get himself some Colossi up, because there isn't currently an answer to Colossi on the map from ByuN anymore, because he's just taken a step away from it. And obviously has not gone back to it just yet, as our Bio army comes back over the right side. A couple more Widow Mines will come across. Marauders and Marines continue to gather up. A couple more mines still being brought into play. Widow Mine shot here. Goes towards a few Stalkers, which just take a step back. Yo, Concon, thank you so much for the 42-month resub on tier 2. Much appreciated. Thank you very, very much. As that Disruptor comes in, Bio army dodges away. Yeah, thank you so much for the resub, mate. Appreciate it on tier 2 as well. Still being a hero. Thank you so much for the support. Well, this game is quite dramatic, right? ByuN's still down a lot of workers. Army supply is currently still competitive, though, so the game is by no means done. Still kind of chasing through for a little bit, and just going to be seeing a couple of Widow Mines to help. He will get good shots on the Zealots initially. Disruptors will force ByuN to split. That's a good connection up the left side of ByuN's army. He chases for the Disruptors, however he gets one, he should be able to get two. I don't think there's any way to save that Disruptor, which is just trailing here. Also still trying to make it even further forward. Is just going to see one of the Zealots getting picked off. The Stalker's still gathered, the Immortal as well. And more of these probes are going to start to mine on a fifth base that obviously herO was in need of. ByuN, the fourth, that was his main base, relocated. Is currently, the economy he stands upon, and still doing decently in the trades. I am a little worried. Resource lost. Okay, favorable for ByuN. A little worried that herO just hasn't been able to kind of really look good in a fight against ByuN in terms of, like, he's never had quite a commanding victory or anything, so been a little concerning there, I guess, but I mean, it feels like he should just be able to out-eco ByuN and just completely outbuild him. Would herO just benefit from backing away for a moment? Like, he's got ByuN kind of on the move, but not really. I feel like herO could just settle down for a second or two, let the 20 worker advantage kick in for more than just like a single warp in, and then go across the map and then maybe try and hit ByuN where ByuN just in theory shouldn't have been able to build as much defensively. I think at this point I would feel like I would kind of like that a little bit more than what we're currently seeing. Because it feels like these constant attacks just aren't doing anything for herO, right? It feels like he's really not benefiting from these. As that Disruptor shot lands just on a mine. TvP comes down, Sentry's getting hit, Stalkers as well, so everything's no shields going into a potential battle here. My ByuN still pushing back up. We got a little bit of action bottom left. Dealt with already, so nothing too important, of course. The game where hero's been kind of so aggressive, he's not been able to tech into other things, so there's no Templar Archives, no choice for Storm or Archons, no potential for Dark Templar right now either, which obviously are a great harassing unit oftentimes at this part of the game. Stalkers and Azal's coming back through. ByuN will re-engage yet again. Mine goes off and these Stalkers can come back over once more. Disruptor. Let's come and have a little check-in. We've seen that ByuN coming through here, still fighting, still chasing away these Zealots and these Sentries and everything. ByuN is just continuing to win these fights, man. He's going to knock down the Immortal. These Zealots still falling. Now, ByuN is wiped out of his natural. He is floating his natural to the middle base. He's going to take the rich Vespene base. But to be fair, it's been such an aggressive game. What difference is it to him if he has to hold a bit more forward than he already is? He's already pretty far forward defending the right side, so I don't think the middle of the map is any tougher for him to hold on to. So I don't hate the decision of how he's approaching this. ByuN connects for a few of those Zealots. I'm just going to be seeing this entire Bio army still chasing. Zealots getting chased out of here. Plus comes in. The Ghost takes a little bit of a damage and shot. Fire comes around. A Disruptor will fire. Just going to be seeing now where ByuN goes for a couple of Zealots. Honestly, not bad. Good chip damage just coming in from the side. ByuN's army supply is larger than hero's, man. He's just going to push on forward. First Disruptor goes down. It's going to be seeing another EMP. The Vikings will get rid of a Colossus maybe in a moment or so. And herO is just not doing it at all, man. He cannot find an army to truly fight against ByuN. And he is floundering a little bit, man. Honestly, had a bit of a rough time in that series against MaxPax, that second game. I feel like this one's been one way he's been looking good in, but again, just hasn't found a good fight. And the problem is, obviously, ByuN's army supply now is just way too big, so you're hoping and relying on Disruptors that ByuN is so good at microing against. So ByuN's never going to give you the opportunity or the chance to really get a step back in a good direction or anything. So, as herO, that's pretty concerning. And for herO, he might just be out of luck here. Zealots come through. SCVs will start taking some damage on the central base. I mean, that's just going to be, honestly, nice supply pickoffs though for ByuN as well. Ghost Snipe is cancelled by the Zealots moving away, but if we clean up most of those Zealots, I mean, that's a chunk of supply of herO that you just can't really afford to be going elsewhere at the moment, quite frankly. Zealots and Stalkers coming around here. The Disruptors find themselves locked in a corner. ByuN realizes this is a chance for him to get some freebies. He gets a Stalker and there's one Disruptor left behind. They're just going to be content with shutting down these few Zealots, so they will fall. Not really much else herO could do in that. End up scanning up to the top. A couple more Zealots going to arrive. The ByuN army is nearby, waiting to potentially take the fight. ByuN's not been on the other side of the map, by the way, for like what feels like the entirety of the game. And here he is for the first time. I mean, he was obviously across the map early with the initial mine drops. He did some damage early, but I mean, it's been minutes upon minutes since he's been here, and immediately now just walking across 60 army supply lead. ByuN in complete and utter control. As the two Colossi are the issue, but they're about to get dove on because there's nothing to stop them getting dove on, quite frankly. At least I thought there was, but he's going to force a lift up and now extra reinforcements show up, so that was maybe a little bit wrong initially, but the reinforcements get here, and that is then going to be the case. The Stalkers all diving too far forward. GG is called, and we have got ourselves a Game War 2 victory from ByuN in very impressive fashion, honestly. Kind of a little shocking, a little surprised. GG's ByuN 2-0 over herO. As we start bottom left corner with the Red Protoss player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, herO. In the top right side, our blue Terran is going to be Shopify Rebellion's ByuN. Just fell for me. So much action and straight to the next one. It's okay. I like keeping the games moving. Duo lead for ByuN, best of 7 grand finals of this little Red Cross Cup event. Two gases on the way up from ByuN. So getting those up and on the line, and just going to be seeing him play a little bit aggressively early here on Ancient Cistern. Now, Zealot first from herO is... Obviously, he's not scouting, so this could just be something of a safety play. I wonder if he's got any aggression perhaps planned around this, though. When you go Zealot first, you can get across the map to apply a lot of pressure early in the game, so... That's something I'm watching out for here, see if that's going to be a factor or not. Could be coming through factory, ticking along. It's going to be seeing the pause during the game, something we don't have to deal with because we're casting replays today. Apparently the players are fine. Great update. Yeah, so again, see discussion in the chat. I really feel like, guys, it kind of comes back to what herO did against MaxPax as well, where, honestly, herO's just not playing as well as he could do from these advantageous positions. He's so eager to kill and just maintain pressure, to the point where it's like, bro, if you just stopped for, like, a second, and just built, like, 10 more workers, maybe add in a different set of tech, like, there's no reason to be attacking because your opponent has barely any economy anyway. By attacking, you're kind of letting him keep the game even because you're giving him somewhat efficient trades, so he's going to be okay. If you just kind of build up your own economy that little further, you'd be okay to just stop attacking for a few moments and then just get better set up on tech, etc. for the rest of it. You know, there was no DT harassment or anything. Like, for a 25-minute TvP, where the pros player kind of has been in control since 10 minutes, the fact there's no Dark Shrine until super late or whatever is obviously a mistake, right? DTs are so difficult to deal with, they're so frustrating. These are all things I feel like herO could just do better that he's not doing really very well at all today. And I don't know, like, I mean, sometimes days are just like that. Sometimes he just maybe is misreading the game and feels like he's in a better position than he is. So yeah, it's, you know, it's the same, you know, if a Terran player gets 20 supply ahead and they A-click into a choke point with Colossi, they're also going to lose, right? That doesn't mean Terran is never able to win a game. It means that you played it out wrong. And, you know, I feel like that's the moral of the story so far with these herO games today. He's not playing them out properly to find himself, you know, comfortable wins. And what should be, I mean, they should be comfortable wins, I think. Right? Like, he's in good enough positions for them to be comfortable victories. He's just not playing it outright, I think is a pretty fair statement, but that's my take on it at the very least. Dingle, LS2, thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Reaper looking for a probe. Is going to grab one already. These Stalkers bringing away. The medevac coming toward the front and just going to be heading straight in towards this natural. You got a Widowmine unloading. The few Marines will force the probes to pull away, and the Widowmine just unburrows. And it's going to end up not firing straight away. 3 workers killed. Not a bad start. All said and done. Stalker's just going to sit here on the sides and keep the medevac a little bit trapped for a few moments. So medevac will be stuck, unable to really get anywhere. Tanks, Marines going to come pouring on out. And just going to be seeing a couple of additional racks coming up from ByuN as well. So still bringing those into play. Couple more Marines. All of this on the way up right now. Thanks to start a fire, Stalkers have to back it up. Just going to be seeing the push from ByuN. I don't know how much I love this, honestly. It feels like the Stalkers have a lot of kiting potential against this. I don't really think there's going to be much chance for this army to get in position. We do see some probes going down, though. Harass of ByuN continues as the Liberator shows up in the main. So if nothing else, he's dragged units out of the way to defending this Liberator. So this push may not have been able to get across the map and set up, but it's what he's doing at the same time that gives him the chance to be, you know, in such a good position here. He'll get 2 more probe kills. Could have been 3 if he target fight initially. He does lose a tank, though. These Stalkers are going to end up clearing up this entire force that was on the map. So this does come at a cost from ByuN as well. The Raven moves forward. Uncharacteristic mistake from ByuN as he kind of just lets it... Okay, well, my entire motive here was about to be that he just let it die, but it didn't just die. It just flew back. So herO doesn't hit the target fire on the Raven either. Now we've got this Immortal that's going on a mission. It's going to die, and I'm not going to lie, guys. This is a sloppy game. When you tell me herO and ByuN are playing each other, we expect kind of very clean micro on both sides of the game, and this was honestly messy in a big way from both, I would say. I don't think there's anything too crazy about that statement, as another refinery will come up here. ByuN will continue to get settled, get ready to continue through. Just going to be having now a couple more Stalkers coming back around as well. And, you know, Dig Big Minx, thank you so much for the 7 and 3 sub as well, much appreciated. Thanks so much as we have a push in. I mean, here comes herO again, just looking to be super aggro, gets the bunker, gets himself the tank. Widow Mines do well against the Zealots. Bio Army nowhere near having stim or anything of the sort, so I don't feel like ByuN is, you know, moments away from dealing with this or anything. Feels like this is quite a troubling situation for him. There's a Dark Shrine coming up from herO, the Immortal producing as well, so still just going Immortals to back up Blink Stalkers, and then Dark Shrine and Charge Lots is going to be the combo that follows on from this. Gonna have that Order Turret coming back through. A couple more probes going down. Raven looking for more of those workers. That Raven could have been dealt with, by the way, remember. That Raven not just could have been, probably really should have been dealt with, you know? As the Prism comes back through and just gonna be dropping in here. Mortal and the 2 Zealots will go after the supply depot. That Raven comes around the back. Just gonna drop an Order Turret in. Starts to pick away at these probes, gets 1, 2, doesn't quite find 3. The Stalkers are there to deny it, but the Raven's still alive, so more harassment available for ByuN in these upcoming minutes still. But in fact, loads up a few mines, gonna go take them out down to the south. We'll see if they can maybe find some damage. Would be neat as our Stalkers around the top side are around the bottom side, going to try and intercept that drop. Meanwhile, the Prism is on the top, and Stalkers are going to get this mine drop, so that will not see the lighted. Wow. Again, just we get away with a mine drop that was basically intercepted. I mean, I guess herO, yes, he's elsewhere, he's doing other things. Obviously, he is, but again, just costly, right? I mean, that could have been a mine drop completely dealt with. We'll see what the mines end up doing now, if anything, but it's just the opportunities that ByuN is getting that should have been denied already. The Raven wants to try and find an Order Turret here. He knows the battery's a little bit too close to the top side, so he was trying to go deeper, says it isn't worth it. Instead, might just try and make something happen on this side. He's actually just going to fly past. You know what? At this point, it's good to save the Raven as well. He has the Widow Mines. Oh my god. 2 and... Wow, okay. 10 kills. 10 kills because we didn't blink on the medevac and it escaped with low HP. Messy game, honestly. Messy series, I would even say. Even more damage done by this final mine going off. You know, I look at this and I think herO still got opportunities getting blink on both Stalkers and on Dark Templars, so that blink on both sides will help him to put a little bit further pressure on. I mean, ByuN's already showing up here. If ByuN had Ghost us already, I feel like I'd really be like, oh man, this game's done. He doesn't have Ghost already, so that's not quite a factor. That anti-armor missile will land. Just going to see our Bioforce going back. Widow Mines connecting on a chunk of the Zealots. Another Widow Mine going off. I mean, ByuN just gets a really good start of this fight. The anti-armor missile again definitely can help, but we see fresh zealots at least showing up though. They are not painted orange just yet. Comes back around. Immortal going to be chased down. Just going to lift back up into that prism. Going to go over to the super battery. ByuN still chasing in 73 to 28 army supply right here. As the medevacs will lift off, they will pull away. A blink forward, a medevac going down already. +1 attack upgrade from herO is in fact going to be about to finish as well. Maybe help him out. Currently 0-0 against the 1-1 of ByuN. Allowing ByuN to take some of these better fights this far. Well, ByuN retreats away, man. There was a moment where he was up, what, like 50 army supply? That's obviously a pretty crazy amount. Be careful about this as we get a scan up. Just going to make a little bit of a pick there. ByuN army still making its way into just a defensive spot. At work accounts, about 7 difference, but that's obviously fine when you account for the mules. herO does have the 4th base up, which is kind of the expectation of a cross player at this point in time, so that isn't too surprising either. I'm just going to see the ByuN is going to take a step forward and start to work its way through a set of rocks here. So opening up the map a little bit, shortening the rush distance is potentially beneficial to both players, depending on how exactly herO might want to try and play it. Stalkers have to stay out of trouble. The ByuN was stimming in, looking for a grab on a few of these stalkers. It's not quite going to get it just yet, though. It's going to start working our way through this set of rocks. Rocks will be taken down, opened up. Still pushing through. The ByuN army into jump on this base. Where are the units, man? Split battery pops. There's no damage output on this Terran army. So right now, ByuN is just battering his way through this. There's a few zealots and the Immortal showing up. The Stalkers coming from the other side. The EMP's landed on the Stalkers. ByuN as he kites back and just kill a lot of these Stalkers, though. So he's finding value as he escapes away. 2 more force fields come in. The zealots do end up having to turn away from this. I'm just going to go and get a couple connections. Clearing out some rocks again. Man, the Widow Mines were back up and ready to play again. And so the Widow Mines end up working out decently as we come through. We knock ourselves down a base, and we're going to get rid of the 4th of herO, who just again seems to be in a ton of trouble here on Ancient Cistern. herO is not having a good time right now, as ByuN is just... well, this game, he's just all over him. I mean, obviously, damage done by the Widow Mines and all the rest of it adding up. Now a bunch of probes continue to go down. We've still got mines left over here that have still yet to be detected, still yet to be cleaned out. And we're still killing probes in this corner as well. A lone Marine, he's been left to do his duty and to try and keep on helping there. $16 dead probes, a few dead SCVs going on at least, so there is some damage going. Back on the other side, DTs get active, and DTs will start to find some amount of damage. I mean, you have to do something, like I've been saying. If you don't do anything here, this is really becoming a problem. So at least you get some damage done as herO. Work accounts even, that's obviously still good for the Terran player, though. They're very happy to sit evenly in this game. Marines under the prism, so that goes some counter-attacking opportunities. As that prism does go down. Zealot knocked down, Pylon knocked down. 1 DT mixed amongst this army is obviously not going to do too well for itself either. And this Nexus does indeed look as though it's going to fall. We push on in. Racks continue to drop. As I think this one really is just done. As, yeah. I mean, nothing really else to add, guys. This one looks done-zoed. herO is going to have one last attempt to stand here, but I can't imagine he's going to make much of it. He's just kind of cornered, honestly. And, yeah. Extra Zealots just melt. There's just so much damage output, and ByuN is going to take a 3-0 lead in this best of 7. So looking very, very good for ByuN. Looking really good if you're a Terran fan or a ByuN fan today. As he gets bottom right, Red Protoss player, Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO. Can he take a map off of the Terran player in the top left from the Shopify Rebellion? This is ByuN. Well, well, well. Is this the final? Yes, this is the final, guys. Best of 7 final today. In this Red Cross Cup, we're covering the replays of. Shout out to AlphaX, running this event, doing some fundraising and stuff alongside it. They're doing a lot of that on their Match Reno page. I believe that's closed now. I don't have a direct link to it, but I'm sure if you wanted to try and find more, good. That's why I got a hold of these replays. Hence why we've been covering these games. How far away is Katowice? Are these games being played on the new patch? Yes, this is new patch. New map. Well, Cybercore coming in. So yeah, Reaper coming up, coming down. Cybercore will go online, just going to be going through in the next couple of moments, and as that comes online, we'll see what exactly the plan will be from here. Just going to wall off a B on Babylon. It's going to be seen RCC coming online, the next coming up, Probe Adept, all of this being brought into play for the moment. Yeah, honestly, so far so good, just pretty standard, and it's going to be a Stargate as well. So even ByuN, just going for the expansion quickly, right? Reaper into expand rather than any of this double gas that we've been seeing in some of the previous games. Adept shades back out to this left-hand side and is going to come for a little bit of action. Well, there's going to be seen 2 Marines and a Hellion continuing up for the moment. The Adept gets up to this high ground, but will not make its way through. Oracle going to be the choice of the Stargates, not like the Phoenix we've been seeing earlier from herO as well, so something a little different here to begin with, and yeah, just a different game to start us out as these couple of Adepts come around the other side. Hellion takes 1 shot, Hellion takes 2 shots already. SCV's not a bad opening. We're going to get rid of a good few Marines as well, so honestly the Adept does pretty okay for itself. Pretty fine over here is just going to be seeing the Reaper goes back into the main base, trying to get a little bit more done. The Adept comes in, kills off that Reaper, so Reaper does go down. Oracle trying to fight the Marines. I like the idea, but it's going to be kind of low HP after, so I'm not sure whether there's really going to be enough gained from this. It's going to be seeing that Marine trying to find the Oracle. Oracle is going to get pushed away for now. At the moment, that's not going to come out to mean too much. Oracle activates, and a couple of SCVs will begin to drop. I mean, again, just a new Oracle and just trying to keep ByuN behind. If he doesn't have enough anti-air, then he doesn't have enough anti-air, and that's exactly what you're trying to keep abusing at this point in time. The more abuse you can put on that, the happier you're going to be. A couple Stalkers still coming through. Just going to be seeing this med of a couple mines inside, making its way down to the bottom right. So, across we go. Into position we get. I mean, a Phoenix going to greet this. A couple of Oracles going to meet this as well. And Medevac's going to go down immediately, so this is a complete shutdown. ByuN's getting nothing going for himself in this early game. This has been a much better opening so far from herO. He's going to be looking a lot better than he's looked in some of the earlier games, so yeah, strong opening. ByuN's going to try and go toward Cloak Banshees and a Cyclone stuff, so he's looking for a pretty aggressive kind of combination of attacks here. We'll see if that's something he can make work for himself, but very possible that this is it's going to be all about herO here. As these Oracles going to activate, going to get 4 more workers. A Viking here, which makes this attack of the Oracles a little bit of a, you know, a do or die mission, and they will just choose to do and die. 5 SCVs go down. The Phoenix and the Oracles continue along. It's going to be seen at Twilight Council. Without a finish from herO, so readying up a follow-up to this. Obviously, the Phoenix production has been kind of not a priority initially because we've got a lot of Oracles. So now we are going to see Phoenix anyways, and herO seems to think he can just control the game from here, which I don't really disagree with when we see how things have been going. Banshee getting some more damage on this Adept. Obviously, Banshee's been scouted as well, so herO's not going to be caught off guard by anything. Is kind of the problem, right? Like, he's just gonna... There's just so much preparation against everything that ByuN is doing that herO should just be able to get off scot-free without any damage taken. And if you can do that, then we are in business for a herO game win, and this finals will go on. Salvaging up the bunker. We still got the air units coming through. Phoenix and a couple Oracles. It's going to drop a Revelation, trying to keep track of everything, trying to make sure nothing is getting out of touch or out of reach or so. Just keeping our eyes on all of that for the moment. Well, Rocks will be coming through here. It's just going to be seen getting some shots. ByuN's going to start moving through the middle of the map, so away he goes. Now push across the other side, so on a little bit of a journey there. Knock on this set of rocks and opening this up the next few moments, so coming through, and it's going to be seeing Stasis Wards catching this entire army. ByuN, oh my god, he's not even going to stick around. He's just going to tap GG's. He's out of here. And ByuN says, now to fend off the pressure of Dark and Dark's aggression, which is honestly very cool because that's what we kind of know Dark for. Yeah, some cool games. As we have in the bottom right corner, our red Protoss player, this is herO. Up against the blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. Game 5 of our matchup. Well, hero's already proxying one pylon out across to the other side of the map. He is just getting that up and rolling to begin with. It's going to be a second gateway from herO. Going to once again try to show up with a little bit of pressure early. I think what we've been shown here is the fact that ByuN's setting up to build a reactor early, and if he does that, the potential of these units to break through and to knock that down is quite high. It's definitely there, right? There's definitely an opportunity for that, so something to keep our eyes on initially here. can see a Reaper coming across. Coming through. On a little bit of pressure, obviously trying to get some scouting. Sees the Zealots, so nice info to be had pretty much straight away. Single probe gets picked off by the Reapers. The Reaper at least getting a grab there, and yes, even if it's an offensive probe, it's still a nice grab. Gonna see the two Reapers now gonna go after a Zealot and the Stalkers to just try and get some initial damage done, trying to slow down this initial attack in of herO, trying to slow this and stop this wherever possible. And two Reapers will jump into the bunker, and the Zealots get turned away. And the Reaper's gonna hop back out the other side, and so far I think be pretty content with what they are achieving. Still attacking and obviously still trying to hopefully break through this depot, but the hold is there and the bunker's there to keep the units safe. So one thing you are able to get is obviously as SCVs pull in to try and protect. The SCVs pull in to protect and repair, then you can shoot the SCVs. That's generally one of the better things you can do about all this. So it's kind of neat. Let's see a tech lab coming down on the factory though, and that started up as well. And all of this brought to play right now. Well, Banshee, Cloak, all of that's coming through. So once again, ByuN going to aim for this Cloak Banshee play to try and get something done in the early stages. So that's going to be part of the plan. Cyclone gets chased away, and a few units obviously coming back across. Continue to stay kind of busy over here for a little bit. Well, it's a lot of units from herO. I wouldn't say he was super successful early. Very excited to see. I mean, he does start a robe, which looks like he will probably be more or less on time defending against this incoming more or less on time, I think, defending against this upcoming Banshee. Don't think that's going to be a major issue or anything along those lines. Yeah, Banshee still doing some damage and able to get a couple of kills. I mean, not bad, right? I mean, we killed off a sentry, killed off a couple of workers. At the same time, ByuN's using this as a chance to take control elsewhere and is pushing forward with that already and doing okay for himself. As these stalkers continue back over left-hand side now then. Three Banshees, 2 tanks, Marines, just a big attack in general getting set up to push forward right now, so coming with this very shortly, I feel like, as we have ourselves. The Banshee's just going to come across. Now, the tank's already sieged. Blink is nowhere near being done. This is one of the issues that herO's going to have. His tech is absolutely non-existent, it feels like, compared to maybe where it should be at this part of the game. The Banshee's coming around, going to aim straight for a couple of these probes, and a few probes will begin to drop off here. 6 pros going down. Banshees continue to be chased, and the tank still holding this position. Now we're going to recall over here. What recall is on the left side of the Nexus? Ah, no. Yeah, I was going to say, if Stalkers, yeah, a couple of Stalkers recalled on the left side, and that means that they actually get hit immediately by the tanks. So a few more shots on that. The Banshees end up getting 10 probes. It's not about having detection or not. This is just straight up about not being able to deal with the fact that these Banshees are going huge. Immortal taking a bit more damage. The tank's still firing away on that Nexus, so damage being dealt. Nexus taking hits, and the Observer going to go down to the bottom right corner and try and keep an eye on that Banshee as well. A couple more medevacs coming up. Stim pack +1. All being brought through. We're going to get a little bit of a cheeky turret going down. Extra gateways coming up for the moment. Oh, get away, get away. Banshee does fall, so an expensive loss on the Banshee. I mean, it's done the work, though. I mean, herO's already trailing pretty heavily here on Grezvan. I mean, ByuN's backed up for a moment. Blink will get a chance to finish, but now we're talking about a full Bioforce that's only really missing combat shields to be at full strength. I'm not sure that's something that herO is immediately ready to deal with in the slightest, so don't feel like that is looking too hot right now as that Bio army goes pushing forward. Stalk's taking some shots. I mean, again, this is just a biome with a lot of supply in it, a lot of power in it. herO is trying to do something across the map. The Prism takes a lot of damage on the way in, flying through a turret, but he is going to live to warp in a few Zealots. So there's something going on at least here for herO. Biome in the center, pushing the Stalkers back. A couple of Marines want to try and grab the Prism, not quite able to. Just going to see the Prism moving around to the side again. Bioforce going in. Stalkers continuing to press on through, and our charge is about halfway along, just chrono boosting a little bit. A little bit of healing being done onto these Stalkers. They blink back. Immortal sit here. It's going to be seen our tank sieging. Bioforce still pushing up the ramp. Super battery activates onto a Zealot. Nexus is going to go down. As Nexus goes down, we turn it around. Zealot falls as well. Widowmine going to go. Oh, misses the Stalkers. They blink forward. They want the tanks, but the Immortals are obviously left alone. The problem is there's nothing to deal with the Bio army, I feel like, so the Stalkers obviously don't do that. So getting rid of the tanks is nice, but they've done their job. They've given the Bio enough of an edge. And the Bio will stand and fight here. Pros will pull through. You can see the Medevac's going to abandon it, but obviously we've got streams of reinforcements from ByuN as he's dealt with the Prism now as well. Well, the Prism's coming back around to the middle, but it's not in his main base anymore. As herO needs to be careful. That's a dead Stalker. Not watching. 28 probes dead. Banshee over here getting even more kills. 27 kill Banshee, being an absolute commander this game. That's his literal rank in the game. There you go, actual commander. Dies now, but did some serious work as herO is all out of options, all out of answers. ByuN looks as though he's going to take this as a 4-1 victory. Close this one out. There's the GG to confirm it. And ByuN wins it 4-1 over herO. He was trying to get up to Storm, a very hopeful idea. That just will not pan out for him in the slightest.